West
Okay.
Okay, so it is T and P, and we're back today with another episode of Hatefully Motivated. Today's topic is going to be about the title of the video was titled "Do Successful Black Men Date Other Races?" which I thought was stupid, but it's fine. Um, the answer to that is yes, but the topic that we're going to be discussing is why do black men tend to date other women, specifically white women. This video or this podcast was motivated by a video by Beast Mode Smooth Reacts. That's the name of the channel. He was reacting to a video that was posted by Daily Wrap Up Crew. So just so y'all know, if y'all want to go watch the video yourselves, go ahead, have at it. Um, we both do, both me and P have a lot to talk about.
A lot.
A lot to talk about. I literally have 21 points that I want to touch on because I just kind of broke the video down for my own personal because it was very deep to me when I was watching it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what I would like to do is I would like for, if you don't mind, P, if we could just kind of like go back and forth. So I'll open up
Yeah.
with my first point, talk a little bit about it, and then you can, and we'll just kind of tag team it that way. I feel like that would
Yeah.
be the best. All right.
Hold on. I also recommend that you do watch their video first.
Yes, watch their video first.
So if you have not seen that video, go watch it. I will probably put the link in the description or something. I'll put the link somewhere. It'll be
Yes, yes.
somewhere, but please watch that video before you watch the reaction because I don't want you to watch us first and then go watch their video with our thoughts in your head. We want you to go think for yourself first and then come see what we think and then blend your and blend our ideas together for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. So again, in case y'all lazy like me, the name of the channel of the guy who was reacting, his name is Beast Mode Smooth Reacts. There y'all go. All right. So, um, they open up the video by talking or asking because there's like the Daily Wrap Up Crew. There's three gentlemen and then there's three girls. Um, so they kind of open up the floor by asking, like,
They're all
okay,
black, by the
yes,
way.
they're all black. Um, they open it up by asking the women like, hey, what do you see more? Do you see more black men dating white women, or do you see more black women dating white men? The girls say we see more black men dating white women, um, which I say that's a fair assumption. Here's why. In the media, there are a lot of successful black men because that's specifically who we're talking about. We're talking about successful black men, not everyday average black people.
Regular dudes.
And they kind of mix it up a little bit. Like they go back and forth from talking about successful people to like every average Joe. But specifically for this podcast, we will be focusing on successful men. We probably will throw in regular average Americans, but black people, but just so y'all on board. Um, and she gives the example of, athletes and just men in general. And the guys basically were like, okay, like, we want names. And she couldn't come up with a name off of the top of her head, which is fine. But the reason why I say that's a fair assumption is because, again, we see that a lot in media. We see a lot of successful black men who have either A, decided to date or marry a white woman, or B, they have decided to date and or marry a racially ambiguous black woman, meaning she could slide under the radar as whatever she chooses that day. And it'll be just fine. Okay. So I'm looking at my notes here, so y'all bear with me. But basically they start off with that, and the guy who was reacting to this daily wrap up crew video, he says that um her saying that was incorrect. He made a he posted like a post that says like 83% of successful black men or men who make over 100K a year still end up dating or getting hitched to a black woman. And like I was expressing, because I talked about this topic to pretty much all of my inner friend circle. I done got everybody hot about this topic. Um, Basically, I said that's cool. That's for everyday people. That is for the average person, someone who's not being, who's not a celebrity or not famous. And that statistic might very well hold true. But like I explained to a friend of mine, media and mass media in general has a way of skewing or shifting our not our thoughts per se, but just how we view things. So even as someone such as myself, when I look at all of these famous black males with their white or racially ambiguous partners, to me, that signifies that this is the specific type in which black men are choosing to go for.
I do have a question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I do have
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
I have a question for you because when you said when we both said that we saw in the video that the girl could not even think of like a black man, a black successful man with a white woman. And to be honest with you, I can't either. Maybe in like the NBA, because I do not follow basketball, I could care less about basketball. But like people like Beyonce and Jay-Z, both black. um Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, I think he is, both
Mm-hmm.
black. Like off the
Mm-hmm.
top, in like the music genre, people like in the music genre, I think of more black on black than I do black on white. But I mean, it depends on where you're looking in terms
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
successful black men. I don't know because I'm probably the worst person to verify this statistic because I'm not familiar with all the people and who they're dating, because to be honest with you, I really do not give a damn.
Yeah.
So I mean, just to like fill in the blank for me, do you know any people?
Yeah. I'll give y'all one, like one person in particular, excuse me, is Ice T. Ice T is married to a white woman named Coco.
Who is
That's
following
one.
Ice T for real?
I mean, I'm just, if you said give an example, so I gave one. And
I
there's
had no
other
idea about
people.
that.
I will use Kendrick Lamar because I also threw in there racially ambiguous. Kendrick Lamar's wife, I believe she is black, but if you don't know what she looks like, please Google her. She's very light. She's on the lighter side of the spectrum. So even when these men are dating black women, they are dating either light skinned or very racially ambiguous black women. And that's not to take away from the fact that she's black, because, like I said, I do believe she is
She's still
black.
black, yeah.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but that does unfortunately hold some weight. Like that does say a lot. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, is it like
Um,
consistent? Like, I mean, I don't know if anybody follows how many people or their train of people behind them that they've dated, because I feel like if we're talking about right now at the moment, it could be skewed saying that black men or that black person is only attracted to white women if they have like a racial spectrum behind them. Because I mean, even for myself, I've dated a white woman before. I've dated a black woman before. Like, I mean, if they consistently date white women, I would say they are obviously attracted to white women. If they can consistently date black women, I would say they are definitely attracted to black women, because people have a type whether if they like to admit it or not.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, for this podcast, and I get it. I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, like, people obviously, let me just throw this disclaimer out here now because I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, are you against interracial couple?" No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I don't want any bias. I just want to make sure that we are clear and that you are clear and our viewers are clear that we are not doing no bias. I just want to make sure, even for my own, like, quote unquote research purposes, I want to know the statistics before we get into like that deep of calling people for being more attracted to this than they are to that.
Well, I'm not saying that's the thing. I'm not saying that these people are more attractive. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying I'm using these people as an example,
Okay,
i.e.,
I
Ice
got you.
T. I'm using him as an example because what is he dating right now? Who is he married to right now? A white woman. I am not saying that Ice T has come out in the public and said, I do not like dating black women. I am not attracted to black women. This could very well be a situation with him specifically
Yeah.
where he met Coco and she won him over. He genuinely loves her because she's been there for him. You know, she has a beautiful personality, et cetera, et cetera. That could very well be the case. I'm just for this podcast using him as an example because that is what he is dating as of right
Okay.
now, and it
I just
fits
want to put
into.
the. I just want to put the. I just want to put the umbrella over
Yeah,
us.
yeah, no, no, no. And again, let me go ahead and finish my disclaimer. I am not against interracial dating. I do not care if you are a black man listening to this podcast and you are with a white woman or an Asian woman or whatever type of woman you are with. I do not care. And vice versa. If you're a black woman listening to this podcast, if you're dating a white man or any other man of another race, power to y'all. I hope you are happy. I hope y'all are healthy. I hope y'all are loving towards each other. Period. End of discussion. That is my disclaimer.
It's not like the thing is, it's not the fact because I don't. Because when you do bring up this topic, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you're against interracial couples."
No, no,
Whatever.
it's
That's not the
just
thing. It's um, it's not the point of an interracial couple that is
is the
annoying or
issue.
upsetting.
Yeah,
It's the reason why people are turning to specific
exactly.
directions. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
Yes. And to kind of like to just basically add to that, that's a lot of our issue as speaking for, as a black woman. My issue is not because people are choosing to date outside of the black race. It is the fact that black men specifically, and I have heard this with my very own ears, I've had conversations with black men, and they have said some of the most derogatory and disgusting remarks in terms of why they don't date black women. They always, when you ask a black man who, not all, but some, when you ask them why they have chosen to date, let's just use for this podcast, we're going to stick to the topic, white women, a white woman, they will tell you all the reasons why he won't date a black woman. And that's a problem. Why can't you just say, okay, I'm dating Elizabeth because she's
Because I love
smart.
her. Right.
I love her. She's funny. She's caring. No, they give you a drop down list
Of
of
why
about
black
42
women are so bad.
exactly of why they can't stand us. We got attitudes. We're nasty. We're derogatory. We're this, we're that. We don't respect nobody. Like, and it's like, it's okay. Again, saying this again, so we are all clear. It is okay for you to date outside of your race. If you have found the love of your life in a woman who is not African American or black by any means,
That's cool.
that's fine.
It's
That is
genuine.
okay. But you don't have to shit on the people
Your
or the
people.
yeah, you
You
don't have
don't
to
have to
do
shit
that.
on
Like,
your people.
right,
Hello?
exactly. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to give me a list of 52 reasons as to why you hate black women and why they don't do it for you and why you will never date another black. That has nothing to do with the question that was asked. I asked, why are you dating this woman? And you couldn't tell me nothing about Elizabeth that you liked. You just told me
Not
all the reasons why
Elizabeth.
you hate Keisha and Rhonda and all of them.
Not
Has
Elizabeth after the queen. Oh Lord.
oh,
Oh Lord. Cut the cameras. Cut the
I'm
cameras.
not talking about Queen
Not the
Elizabeth.
queen.
Oh my God, no.
Change her name. Change her name.
Okay.
What
I
be
don't want. I
Bethany?
don't. I don't want my Brits coming for me. I do not want y'all trying
Okay.
to beat me up, trying to pummel me.
We'll do
So listen,
Bethany.
we'll
Shit.
do no. That's too close. Still too close. We'll do Susan. Susan. Sorry, the name Susan.
Susan. All right. Susan and Keisha.
All right. But I guess I guess we can move on to your, any points you have since we gonna do
I'm
this
still
back
on
and
that
forth.
shit with the queen. All right. Anyway.
Oh my God,
Anyway.
please.
All right. First of all, I want to touch my immediate issue. I woke up fresh out the fucking mattress this morning
Mm,
to this video and was already mad. Okay.
very,
Just from the title.
very.
The title alone was like,
The title was just
hello?
dumb to me, but whatever.
Because, when you see the title, you're like, all right, what is this about? Okay. So then you watch the video and they say, why do black men, or not why do black men, do successful black men
Yes.
date other races?
Yes, that is the
They
very stupid
tried to
title.
keep, they tried very, very hard to keep the title very ambiguous with the type of women, but we all know what type of woman they're talking about, and they only touch on white women.
Right.
They do not touch on anybody else.
Right.
Because for the most part, if you want to really dig that deep, any other race is almost basically black.
I'm sick.
For the most part, or brown. The only race this has been a hot topic for is white women. So why couldn't you call it that? The guy in the video alone, from the first perspective, not from like the second perspective in the video, because they were not interviewing, they were watching an interview. So the people watching are the people I'm talking about.
Yeah, so he's talking about, I'm just gonna call him BMS. BMS. So BMS is the gentleman who is reacting to the Daily Wrap Up Crew video. Like, Daily Wrap Up Crew is the video that is doing the interview. They're hosting the interview.
Yeah.
And BMS is the one who is reacting to the video and giving his own input. So
Yeah.
we'll just call him BMS for now.
Well, BMS himself was I'll give the word bias and ambiguous towards the topic. Because
actually, I don't. Oh, well, yeah, no, you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How do you sit there next to your black woman?
I don't think she's black. I'm gonna go out there and say it. The girl that's with him, if y'all notice, if y'all go and watch the video, come back, tell me if I'm wrong. But if you go back and listen to the video, at one point she says black women as if she's not a black woman herself. So with that being said, I'm going to say she is not a black woman.
Well, the black women in the other video say black women as well.
But they're phenotypically black. They're all brown to dark skinned, and we can very well tell that they are black women. With her, it's hard to tell.
Oh yeah, I don't know. All right, we won't call her.
I'm not trying to
ambiguous. I don't.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Her name is Naya.
We're not trying to shut her down for her whether she's black or not. We just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jump out the gate and be like, I am black.
Exactly. She didn't give me any I'm a black woman vibes. So I'm
she's
just
definitely not white.
Yeah, like I said, she's very ambiguous. So
we'll just say an ambiguous woman. So, well, now that first bullet point is kind of out the window because I don't know if she's black.
I'm sick.
I don't know if she's black, but I mean, either way, I do think he was still very ambiguous with his answers. Because I mean,
I'm not even gonna say ambiguous. He was biased. He was very biased and very misogynistic. That's a whole nother point.
They all were for the most part.
For the most part, yes, very. And I think, honestly, y'all, that's the part of this that is like sending me. I don't even think it's the race. It's not the race aspect right now for me that's sending me. It was the simple sheer fact. And let me just. Do you mind if I go back to my little topic?
No, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I'm just like scrolling through. I have so many bullet points here, y'all. It's ridiculous. but there was a part. Oh, yes. So at some point during the interview, we got past the whole, which one do you think is more seen, all that. And then we get to a point where they're asking this is Daily Wrap Up Crew, just to keep it clear. They're asking the three women that are there interviewing with them, why do you think that Black women date white women? And it took them a minute to it took the girls a minute to kind of figure out what they wanted to say. But once they, I guess, got it together, the girl in the middle says, well, white women cater to their men. They are more submissive, and Black women don't we don't take that. Basically, we talk back, we give attitude and that. And here's my issue.
I'm itching.
Yeah, I was itching too when I heard that. um I'll let you go, P, because I feel like you have something to say. So I'll let you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because here's the thing with that. Okay, so the number one reason that Black men bash Black women to the ground by the skull is because of how they react to certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can't react without an action. You can't react without an act. So the only reason why your Black woman is going crazy is because you're driving her crazy. Hello? They don't just wild out for no reason.
For no reason.
The chances are that if she's going crazy, you did something.
Yeah.
And that's the part that the men do not want to admit.
Acknowledge, yes.
He is going crazy because you did something. You don't wake up in the morning and had not had the chance to do anything yet. And your woman is hollering at you just for waking up. That is not the case. Chances are you did something and you're refusing to acknowledge it because you want to be so fucking alpha. You do not want to acknowledge her feelings. You're trying to be so alpha male because you want a submissive woman who's going to let you kick and step all over her. That's not how it works. Even as I'm not going to call myself an alpha woman. I can be very dominant. I'm more of a dominant woman than I am submissive. However, I do not expect a woman to not respond to me or to respond to me without me doing something. If that makes any sense. I don't expect a woman to just not respond to me when I'm doing something she does not like.
Right.
So if you're wilding out at me, I'm not going to be like, oh, she bugging. No, I'm going to ask, what the fuck did I do? You need to look within yourself. And the thing is that in a video, they point out women, BMS, he points out, oh, the women, Black women refuse to look within themselves to find out why a successful Black man is not interested in them. No. You need to, not him specifically, but Black men need to also look within themselves. Both of them need to look within themselves to find out why they're not getting what they want in their relationship.
Right.
Or in their love life. It's not a one-on-one thing. That's what I was saying. He was biased.
Of course.
He was putting it on the woman to make sure that she brings the man peace. But you cannot bring peace to a problem. I'm not going to be peaceful if you're my problem. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. And let me just throw this in here now before I forget. Like I talked about this to my friend, and I told her, I said, 9 times out of 10, because I'm a woman and I know how I am and I know how I have approached situations in my past with past partners. I'm the type of person who will speak to you. I will try my best to speak to you and have an open and clear line of communication. So if something is bothering me, yes, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, this is an issue. And it's up to you at that point whether or not you want to respond or not. And again, with me being a woman who has dated both males and females, when I have interacted and dated men, 9 times out of 10, my issues have gotten brushed off
And ignored.
and ignored. And thus that led to me eventually getting fed up over time to the point where these feelings that I keep talking about and keep trying to bring to your attention, they spill over and they become anger. And now you have me sitting on your line or whatever the case may be. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm hollering, I'm
Wilding out.
upset. Yeah. And now you want to sit here and paint me to be the bad guy. Oh, now I'm crazy. Oh, now I'm angry for what? Why are you mad? Why are you so mad? You
Like,
like
no,
why
I'm
you
not crazy. You're ignorant. You are
right.
ignoring what I have been telling you since the dawn of time. But
Right.
now you want to switch up to white girls because black girls are too, what they call, masculine.
Oh
If
my God, that
communication, no, that should piss
off.
me off, because if masculinity is the same thing as communication, that's crazy, because the men in these cases cannot communicate, and that's why they got their girl hollering at them. Communication is
Mhm.
not just listening, and it's not just talking. It's about action as well. If I
Right.
tell you a problem and you address that issue, that's communication. If I tell you a problem and you don't do nothing, that's just me talking. That's
Right.
not the
And
same
I
thing.
will also say that at some points in this video, I got the notion that masculinity equals combative. So when they say
Exactly.
that black women are combative, BMS said it himself. It came from him. It didn't come from the other gentleman, but it came from him specifically. And he said that he basically equated, this passion. They use the term passion, like when a woman gets,
Yeah.
a little bit over emotional, they called it passion. But then it just felt, like I said, the notion in that video felt like he was trying to say that having this said passion or combative attitude or argumentative attitude is a masculine quality. And I have an issue
Exactly.
with that because sometimes, and please, again, correct me, y'all, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, correct me. But when people get or are passionate about something, sometimes you get a little loud. I know I do. I'm a loud person by nature, so it don't even matter for me. But I have seen people be very emotional and very passionate about the things and they do get a little bit louder, or the tone changes. And that was another thing in the topic that they brought up, because BMS and then also the daily wrap up crew, the gentleman there, they brought up how women, black women specifically, let's keep it clear, um, their tone, the tone in which we use to speak to them is something that they can't stand. They don't like that. They don't like, because they feel like we're the first ones to quote unquote pop off, or get upset, when we're speaking. But one of the girls brought up in the interview, she said herself, she said that, you should know your partner. And I agree with that. I agree that you should know your partner well enough to understand if they are A, yelling at you, B, just trying to talk to you, but they're just loud. Because babe, babe knows me, and she knows that I'm a loud speaker. So typically, if I'm talking, I do talk loud. But she understands that because of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at her. I'm not trying to start an argument. It's simply the way that I speak. And I agree with that. I feel like if you don't know your partner and you don't know the tones that your girlfriend uses,
Then what are
y'all
you
don't need to be
doing?
together.
Right.
Period.
What are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like, if you can't pick up on those cues, baby, y'all don't need to be together. Like, I don't
And that's
understand
another thing. They're not paying enough of fucking attention
at all
to
because they don't
notice that
care.
they don't care. They want Mr. Alpha Man wants to be catered to. That's the thing. They want to be catered to. They want it to be all about them. They want to get all the
Mm-hmm.
money. They want to get all the money. They want to be in power. But in order to be in power, you need to know how to communicate. You need to know who you're trying to be in power over. And even though, I mean, yes, in this relationship, babe, I would be the dominant one. And
Yes.
if we are doing terms and labels, you would count as the submissive, but I do not treat you like that.
Right,
The
exactly.
dominant and the submissive portion only play a part in bed.
Yeah.
Okay, that only plays a part in bed. If babe needs me to do something and she tells me to do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm
Because
not gonna be the alpha and be like, I'm not doing that shit. Hello, who do you think you are? No, it's not about that.
and
It's
that's the
about
part that
compromise.
right, and that's the part that males, a lot of males, especially in this day and age, fail to realize. And that's a big problem. Every male wants to be an alpha male. And apparently, in order to be an alpha male, you got to be on top all the time. But
That's not
what
how it
men
works.
fail, that's not how it works. Because, like, I'm trying to think of a good
Like, how are you
analogy.
going to be the leader and lead a woman straight to hell? Hello?
That, and not only, I feel like a true man who is in charge, he does not have to showboat his status.
Right.
If he is a dominant man, when he walks through that door, you're going to
You'll
feel it.
feel it.
You're going to
Right.
feel that before you ever speak to him. You're going to feel it. You're going to know that it's there and you're going to respect that. And he's not going to make you feel as a woman any less than the woman that you are. He's not going to impose on you his dominance. His dominance will just be an aura in the room and you'll feel it and you'll respect that. But if you have something that you want to say, he'll respect you as well. He'll give you that same respect that you've
Right.
given him. And it's no, there's no competition. I feel like these new age men are trying to be in competition with women. Why are you trying to
And each other.
and each other? Why are y'all trying to be in competition? That's weird. If you really want to get down to the basics is this: men and women are supposed to complement each other. We are complementary parts to each other, which means that my feminine energy combines with your masculine energy and we create something special.
Right.
Period. There is no, I don't understand why there is this, like, these new age men, I'm trying to tell you, they love to be overbearing. Overbearing in terms of, I'm the alpha male. I'm going to make you understand that I'm alpha. You're going to submit to me. Submission
Oh,
comes
I'm
naturally.
itching again. I'm itching
Go
again.
ahead. Go
I'm
ahead. The
itching.
floor is open.
I'm itching. There's
The
bugs
floor is
everywhere.
open.
I'm itching. No. The thing about submission, and these men fail to realize that, because, I mean, men try so hard to get a woman, a black woman specifically, to submit to them. I've had black and white women submit to me. So I'm going to tell you this. Um, Submission does not come without comfort.
Period. Thank
Submission
you.
and comfort are
Yes,
synonymous.
they are.
Synonymous.
Yes,
You
they
are
are.
not going to get a black woman to submit to you if she does not feel
Feel
safe
comfortable.
or comfortable. Chances
Yes.
are she's walling out on your ass because you have not listened to her enough to get her to be comfortable. You are not listening to her. If you're not listening to me, why would I do anything for you? Especially submit. Hello? That's not
Right.
how this works.
It's not.
You cannot try to get a woman to lay down and be submissive to you if you do not give her a sense of safety or comfort or understanding and make her feel at home. Then she probably wouldn't be walling out on your ass in the first place. She's probably walling out on you because she wants to be safe. She's trying to pull it out of you, and you're not giving her what she needs.
Exactly.
So you,
Exactly.
Mr. Alpha, need to listen to your woman if you want a submissive woman. Uh Even you, babe, at first you were not submissive to me when we were first getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But when I
Yeah.
provided you that comfort to open the floor for you to put your guard down, then the submissiveness came. You have to help a woman put her guard down, and you yourself, Mr. Alpha Man, need to put your guard down, so when both of your guards are down, you can bond with
Thrive.
each other and
Yeah. And
thrive.
it makes the relationship work. And I think that's the part that's going over all of these men's head is
Yes.
that And I know why it's going over their head, because
obviously.
truly and honestly, they don't care.
At
These men
all.
do not care. It is
Nah.
not about us as women. It is not about the relationship. It is about them getting what they want.
It's
And
about them and
because
their show. It's
exactly, and if it don't align with what they trying to do, it does not matter. It
they
is
don't
null
want
and
it.
void. That's
Right.
why they want a woman who is docile. They want a quote unquote submissive woman, because that woman is not going to do too much. She's not going to argue with you when you're wrong. You want, let's just again call a spade a spade. You want a woman who is just going to stick by your side no matter what. You want unwavering loyalty. But yeah, they brought up, how they want a submissive woman, and basically, like I was saying, they don't they don't really care about the woman's feelings. Again, it does not, if it does not align with what they are trying to do and what they want, it doesn't matter. It's
Not at
not
all.
about it's not about nothing but them. But they try to flip that energy and put it on women who don't fit the bill of being quote unquote submissive. And I'm tired of them using the term submissive as just another term for a punching bag. You want a emotional punching bag. You want someone who's going to be in your corner regardless of what you do, whether it's right or wrong. You want a yes woman, okay? You want to have that luxury of going out, and if you choose to mess with all types of women, but that's your choice at the end of the day. You're still going to go home to your quote unquote wife and, be with her. And she's not going to say anything about it. She's not going to give you no slack. She's not going to do anything. Or better yet, taking the cheating aspect out of it, you want a woman who is just going to go with everything you say, even if these decisions that are being made are not the most beneficial for the group. It doesn't
Period.
benefit the group. It benefits one person and one person only, and that's you. But you don't care because it's not about anybody else but you. Again, call a spade a spade. That's just what it is. Um, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I don't want like black men to watch this and be like, "Oh, here they go again." No, that's not what this is, big dog. Sit the fuck
Well,
down. This ain't that.
when you say here they go again, please clarify. What do you
Oh
mean
no,
by
when I
that?
say here they go again, cuz every time a black woman hears this topic, they wall out. This ain't that. No. We get where we
Well,
at.
I feel like, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, if you take, as a black man, if you're a black man watching this podcast and you take offense to anything that I just said or anything that we've said, that means that you should take a hard look at yourself.
Everybody needs to take a hard look at themselves, because to be
Absolutely.
honest, like the guy in the video BMS, he was making it seem like only the woman needs to take a look at themselves. No,
And that's what I'm
no, 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 no.
saying.
That's not how it's not going to work. That's not
And
how it
that's
is.
that's exactly what I mean.
Everybody
But
needs to take a look at themselves. I mean, because if you're a black woman seeking a black man and you can't keep a black man, there might be something wrong with you. But if you're also a black man who can't keep a black woman, there might be something wrong with you too. You need to
but
both
here's the
look at
thing.
yourselves.
I get what you're saying, but I'm a black woman at the end of the day, so I'm a ride for mine. I don't know about you, but I'm a
Oh
ride for
no, I
mine.
no, I don't.
I'm.
I don't believe in bias. That's what I'm saying. I don't want this to be biased. I'm trying to open the floor for all
I mean,
aspects of opportunity, not
I
opportunity, but like all viewpoints.
right. I again, I understand not wanting to be biased, but unfortunately, I'm going to be the biased party because I am a black woman and I've had my own experiences with men telling me certain things, and I just can't get behind that. I can't get behind that. So
I
like I
mean, I
said,
get that. I get
I'm
that. I
going to
do.
be I'm going to be the one, like I said, to ride for mine. And I mean, here's what I mean. I would just like for black men to just take a moment of your precious time, please. This is a topic that has been being talked about for so
Ever.
long now. And so many of these beautiful black women, just like me, have come out and said the same things as me and more, and have been able to, elaborate better than I can as to why this is an issue. And so I guess for me, I just ask that you all really take into consideration what we're saying. Like, if a group of people are saying something more than one time, and trust me, baby, you can find 1,000,002 videos right now on YouTube by various different Black women saying the same sentiments as me and P. And I feel like that in itself speaks volumes. That means that there is a problem that should be addressed. And at the very least, like I said, at the very least, take it in. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. You don't have to like me. You don't have to love me. None of that. But take it in. Really take it in. Like, take it in and let it simmer, let it marinate. And then maybe when you're ready, come back to it. Come back to it and have an open and honest conversation with the Black woman.
Right.
And tell her how you feel. Tell her your issues. Tell her your thoughts and opinions.
Communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
Communicate. That's all.
Right. Right.
Communicate does not mean you talk and someone else listens. Communicate means you have an open, flowing conversation and everybody can calmly get their viewpoints passed.
Right. And again, nobody's asking you to agree. We're not trying to get you to agree. If you feel strongly and you're on the opposing side of this argument, that's fine. I'm not trying to convert you. Don't try to convert anybody, but again, take it in. Just take it in.
I
Take in
feel
a different
like
perspective and see where that goes.
I feel like a point where both a man, well, I'll just say Black men. I feel like a point where Black men should consider looking within themselves if they are dating a white woman, and if somebody were to ask why they were dating that person, if their reason has anything to do with Black women, you need to reflect.
Oh, that's a lot of Black men. And it's scary how many Black men that goes for.
Because
Because
it
again,
turns, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, from my own personal experiences and knowing Black men who have dated Black women in the past and who have had negative experiences with Black women, those are the men who really, like, put it to us as Black women. Those are the men that sit there on their little horses and throw rocks at us and tell everybody how terrible we are. But I just feel like, and I'm gonna be honest, because I know P said that, we as a whole, we try, and I do try, but I'm human. I try not to be a biased party,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, I feel like with this conversation, I am very much so biased. So y'all are gonna hear that. Y'all are gonna hear that from me. You might not hear it from P, but you're gonna hear it from T. Very biased, because it's very hard for me not to be, because of the experiences that I have had
Right.
and the things that I have heard. And so when I walked into this conversation, I was already biased. Already biased, because I feel like the conversation in itself really didn't allow me a chance to not be biased, because I felt like stones were being thrown at me from the jump. They were
Oh.
already hitting below the belt with the video anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, here we are.
Yeah.
That's just
For
that's
me, I
me.
mean, to be honest, the main reason why I'm remaining unbiased in this situation is because, to be honest with you, I don't care who Black men date. I am a Black woman, but I'm not dating Black men. I'm not dating white
That's
men.
true. So yeah,
I'm
you
not
do
dating
have a little
men.
bit more.
I'm not dating men.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? I do not care, but I do care when it comes to the natural common sense of the topic. There is no common sense in this fucking topic,
It
and I'm a
isn't.
big
It's
believer
very
of common sense. And the more and more I live each day, I realize that common sense is not all that fucking common. So the thing is that with this whole thing is that the first thing that was upsetting me was that they were trying to treat independence, passion, and masculinity as if they were all synonymous
and
of each other,
that's yeah. I heard
and
that
they're
too.
not.
They're
They're really
not.
not.
They really did. They sat there. Not only did BMS say that in his reaction, but the interviewers from the Daily Wrap Up crew said that same sentiment as well. It was different. Like, obviously, it was worded differently, but it's the same sentiment of that Combative is the term that they use. Argumentative is another term that they use.
Our masculine traits.
Are masculine traits, and
So
it's like,
here's
who told you that?
no, because here's the funny thing. If you really think about it, if they want to classify those as masculine traits, why aren't they looking at themselves as a problem?
Exactly.
Men
So
carry
that means
masculine
so
energy.
so that means as
So
a
if that's
male, y'all go around
masculine
being argumentative and
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 combative,
combative. So that's what
so
I'm listen, if you're male and you're listening to this podcast, let me know right now. Are you argumentative? Like at any given chance that you get, or combative towards people, or just downright
and
aggressive? Is
let me
that you
know
as
if
a
that's a
male?
masculine thing. Because if
Right.
we're really thinking about it, if we're going to literally take the voices of black women away and then classify them as masculine traits, are black men roaming these streets hollering? Are they giving people problems? Are they yelling and screaming? Are they passionate, in quotes, passionate about what they are arguing about? Are black men out here always arguing? Are those masculine traits? Because if we want to talk for real, the men, at least the men in this video, were masculine men. So you
Or
don't
what they
like,
believe.
or what they believe to be masculine. So you don't like when a woman carries the same traits as you. You do not like to deal with yourself.
Right. That's it's giving very much so self-hatred, which if you really want to get down to it, that's another factor that plays into this. Black men, again, I'm gonna keep saying this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but black men tend to have the highest percentage of self-hatred I have ever seen in this black community
Girl,
that we are in. Black men are the like they're up there. They really, really, really,
they're
really
up
have a
there.
lot.
They're up there.
Stop.
Okay, I'm
They
sorry.
have they have the highest percentage of self-hatred I have ever seen. And it just manifests itself in different ways. And the amount of projection that black men
Oh
do
yeah, the
towards black
projection
women,
is so hard.
it is
So
very,
hard.
very critical. And it's disgusting. And and it's like I really, and I know this is gonna sound, again, this is probably gonna sound very typical because I've heard this in a lot of like thought pieces and stuff from other black women. But I mean, I just got a question. How do y'all feel about y'all mamas? You
Oh,
came
that's another
from
topic.
you came from a black woman. You came from the thing that you hate. You hate yourself and you hate other people that resemble parts of you. So how did you I just that's a genuine question. That's an honest, true,
How
genuine
do you feel
question.
about your mama?
How do you feel about your mother?
That's
Because
another
I mean,
thing.
that means you cannot you the way some of y'all be out here acting, I just don't I feel bad.
No, because
I
here's the
feel
crazy thing.
bad.
I always used to think about this when this topic came up, when talking about the moms.
Yeah. Like literally, and I'm not talking about like regular like these are the same women that they hate. Dark
Right.
skin,
No, so here's
heavy
the
set.
oh Lord.
Like I'm
Oh
just
Lord.
saying,
Everything their mother is.
everything that
And
your
here's the
mother
thing. Here's
is.
the thing. When I do to break away from the self-hatred aspect of men, black men, what I used to think when I was younger, when this topic would always come up, I would used to think how, because you know how black mothers are. We both know how black mothers are.
Mm-hmm.
They are the version of loud, the version of yelling and screaming, the version of every aspect of a black woman that they hate. Black men today hate because they grew up with it and they want peace. But you can't
I
get
will
peace
get into
without
that in a
providing
minute.
peace. And I said that earlier. So they want
Mm-hmm.
everything that's the opposite of what their moms are, but they're asking for it without providing enough security to get it. Because,
Right.
like, even still with black mothers, your mom's not just gonna bust up in your room hollering for no reason. There is always a reason, whether if as a child of a black mother, from the both of us, regardless if I like to admit it or not, my mother has never came at me yelling for no reason. Chances are I A did something or B did not do something. So if I did something wrong, I'll get yelled at. If I did not do something she told me to do, I get yelled at. So you cannot apply that same aspect. Well, you actually can. You can apply that same aspect in your dating, in your relationship. The only reason a woman is going to come at you crazy is if you got her out here looking crazy.
Right. And just to quickly, because I know I'm gonna forget, quickly touch on what you said about the whole peace thing. I'm tired of it. I'm
I'm
tired
also
of it.
tired of it.
I'm tired of men using peace as this umbrella term for whatever it is they want to mean. Because I'm positive that when men say they want peace,
That's probably another way to say submissiveness. That's
that
another
too, or
synonymous, probably.
that, or just it's let's again call a spade a spade. That's my motto for today. Call a spade a spade. It's BS. Plain blank period.
Bologna sandwich.
Yes. Yes. Bologna sandwich. Um, like, because what is like, men holler this so much, but what do you mean by that? When you say you want peace, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like, please tell me, what do you mean by that? Because I've heard so many men hollering and getting on this pedestal of, I just want you to be my peace. I want peace. I need peace. Well, what does peace mean to you?
Because right
Because
now, peace is looking
because
like
you
you don't want a
saying you
woman that
want peace, but you're
vocalizes.
not explaining it. I'm gonna need you to elaborate, because clearly there's a disconnect. Clearly somebody somewhere is not understanding, and please enlighten me. I'd like to know, what do you mean by you want peace? Because I feel like once we can get to the root of what peace is, what does that mean to you? What does that look like for you as an individual? Then maybe we can get somewhere. Because y'all just putting this huge umbrella term up and saying, oh, I want peace. I just want a woman to be my peace. That could mean anything.
I'm starting to
That,
think they say that just because they hear everybody else saying that.
yes, it,
Kind of
listen,
like
I've,
the what's that word people just started? Vibes. Nobody spoke about vibes until like
but I think
2020.
vibes is a good term, in because vibes, you know what that means. I could I could understand a conversation if somebody says, "Oh, the vibe is off in here." I can understand that. It's, because honestly, we do operate on energy. We'll use energy, because energy is another term that is really like up there now, along with vibes. It's either vibes or energy, but those two terms can be understood by most people. Like I said, if somebody comes in the room and they're like, "Oh, the energy is off in here, the vibe
No,
is off
yeah,
in
I
here."
get that, but that's I'm not saying that in terms of how easily it's defined. I'm saying that the way that it caught fire
Well,
from
yeah.
by the
Well,
ear.
yeah, but again, it caught fire with reason though, because it makes sense. You sitting up here screaming, "I want peace," and then not telling people what the peace is. Well, what's the peace? What do you mean?
Oh
Because
no, they
peace,
define the peace. They
peace.
just never say them next to each other. Their idea of peace is a submissive woman who won't yell at them. That is their
Okay.
peace. They define the
Well, I
peace.
get, yeah, you're
They just
right.
never say it
Okay.
next to each other. Like, oh yes, I want peace, but
Okay.
they'll
Well,
ask
yeah,
for
you're
them
right.
separate, even though they mean the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. I, okay. All right. Okay. Look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you.
yeah, that's
Because
their
that's
peace.
where
They've defined the peace. Their
that's where
idea
I
of
was
peace is just
confused. Because I'm like, y'all keep hollering about this piece. What is the piece? What do you mean by
that's the
that? But I
peace. A
guess
submissive woman
is the
who
piece.
will
Yeah.
let them lead.
But yeah, I was confused as to what the piece meant. But yeah, for me, again, um, I feel like men have it all misconstrued. Just because you're a man does not mean that you always have to take the lead. And that is something that most men cannot understand and will not understand, because their egos will not allow them to understand that.
That and coming to you as the unbiased personnel. that that and it also does not help that their mothers set them up to be the man and all that entails, especially when some of them do not have fathers.
Yeah. And I get that. I understand that there are a lot of men out here raising themselves or seeking guidance from men with toxic masculine thoughts. And I feel like that's a lot of what's happening here. I feel like a lot of men are raising themselves and teaching themselves what it means to be a man and using different tropes and stereotypes that we see in media. I'm going to go back to that because that's a thing. Um, and just trying to embody everything that they think it means to be a man. And that's
Right.
where we get this nasty, toxic alpha male mentality and this alpha male community. And there are a lot of men in this community.
Oh,
So many.
absolutely. There
And
are
they put the battery in each other's backs. And it's like, can
yes,
y'all stop doing that? Like, please stop.
and that's the thing because there are like accounts on Instagram that literally uprise and praise toxic and give you ways to be toxic. People love that fucking word. People love the word toxic. It's insane to me how such a nasty trait can be so popular in today's world.
Because
And
it fits into what they want.
yes,
That's
I
why the
mean,
term is
the women
loved.
too. The women
Well, yeah,
too.
yeah, but
Absolutely. On both ends of the spectrum, regardless of how many people like to admit it. Because even as a person who dates women, yes, there are women who love to be toxic. And there's
well,
toxic
yeah,
men who love toxic women. Sometimes
yeah,
they get together and try to out toxic each other. This is not
yes.
healthy.
It's not, but I mean, that's a different topic for a
That
different
is a
day.
different topic.
It's a different
Moving
topic for a
on.
different day.
Moving on.
um, I'm just looking at my notes again because I like I said I have a bunch, but I think we did talk about a lot of them. But I will say this because I did just read something. When they were BMS, excuse me, BMS and Naya, his girlfriend, when they were watching the interview, I think it was Naya who brought up that she appreciated the women for not getting emotional about this topic and being able
Oh yeah.
to just just have the conversation and be open and honest.
Right.
And here's the thing, here's my issue with that. Isn't that a trait of women? Isn't that something that that society put on women? I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not saying this is, I'm just saying, like, at least from what I remember, being emotional is something that women are. I've heard men say that. I've heard men tell women like, "Oh, you're too emotional. Why are you so
Are they
emotional? Why are you
that's my
getting
thing. I
emotional?"
hate that. I hate that. Like, are they emotional or are you just not fucking listening?
Right. And I'm just trying to gain clarity. So is it something that we love or we don't love? And I mean, I guess without me nitpicking, because I am nitpicking. I guess what she was trying to say is that she appreciates them just kind of being open and honest without being biased. I'm going to assume that's what she was trying to say, is that she appreciated the women having this conversation and being very open and honest about how they felt without all of the extra biased opinions. But like I said, for me, it is very hard for me not to be a biased party when I feel like stones have already been thrown at me. I feel like I already have to come into this conversation with my armor and my shield on because I feel attacked. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I feel attacked as a Black woman who has dated Black men who like could
Who
I
has done this to you? That like this has been done to you before.
right, yeah. Like, so I feel attacked. So it's very hard for me not to be
And I understand
unbiased.
that. In terms of trying to, here's a couple tips, black men,
Oh
on
Lord.
on how to get your black woman to stop acting a fool.
Oh Lord.
No, because this needs to be out there, because
Oh
clearly,
Lord.
clearly they are having problems, A,
Oh.
satisfying,
Oh
B,
Lord.
listening, and C, communicating with their woman. Let me tell you from a woman's perspective who also dates black women. I have never had a problem with my black woman. Let me tell you that much. Okay? Never had an issue. I have never had to come we've never had to battle over alphaness or dominance. None of that. You know why? Because let me ask you,
You don't
babe.
have an ego.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Slow down. I'm a
No, you
Leo.
know what? You know,
I know. No, I know
no.
what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I don't. I'll say I have an ego, but it's not in the
But you know when to
area
put
of
it.
my relationship.
You know when to put it down.
I
That's the
never put,
problem.
right. I don't put my ego in my relationship. My ego is in my talent. Can't tell me nothing about that. That's where my ego's at. But in my relationship, I do not put ego in it, because relationship is a partnership, and partners
Mhm.
are two people, not just one. So
And
if
but
you want peace, I'm going to have to give you peace first. I have to make you feel at ease so you can make me feel at ease. So if you
yeah.
hooping and hollering and going crazy, I'm not going to yell back.
But
What's the
let me
point in
just
that?
right. Let me say this though, because you can get these tips are valid. I'm not. Let me start by saying that the tips are valid. The tips are very valid, but that's the problem is that men do not see the excuse me, let me back up. I don't want to upset my beautiful podcast members. Wait a minute.
Oh, Lord.
These men that we're talking about specifically, and I'm going to give them a title, these alpha men, I said it, alpha men, they do not see women as a partner. We are not their partners. We are simply devices in
A
which they can
piece.
use for multiple things, whether it be emotional support, whether it be sexual gratification. That is how they view us as women. So these tips that you're giving to these specific men, because I'm just gonna go on ahead and say that the average, brilliant man understands these concepts and realizes this and understands that he is entering into a partnership rather than just a one-sided relationship. So we're not speaking to you gentlemen, we're speaking to these alpha men, and these alpha men don't care. They
No,
never
I
have,
know.
and they never will, and it's just like that's the part that
But
kills
I'm
me.
talking outside of alpha men, because I know alpha men are going to be alpha men regardless. I
Well
don't
yeah, but
care about them. I'm talking about the black men who have interest in black women but don't know what the fuck they're doing.
no. Okay,
Because there's a
I'll give you that.
difference.
I'll
There's a
give you that.
difference
I know
because
some of the babies don't know. That's okay.
yes,
Yeah, you're right.
because a lot of them will enter a relationship with the expectance that a woman's going to comply with everything he says. And
And that's
every
because
man wants peace. Every
every
man wants
person,
peace. Every
every
person,
person.
everybody wants peace.
Oh yeah.
But you cannot get peace without bringing peace. I'm not going to bring you I'm not going to bring you a plate and you don't bring me the food,
Yeah.
because if we're going to do this together, we both have to bring the best out of each other by being the best of ourselves. Because if I'm walking into this relationship and I barely know you and I expect you to just get on your fucking knees and submit to me, you're insane. Women are not women at all, to be honest with you. Not all women are just gonna get on their knees and be like, yes, master. Hello. No, that's not how this works.
That's what I'm
Especially black
saying.
women. You cannot just walk into a relationship and expect a black woman to be like, yes, you are my Lord and Savior. I do
Right.
what you say. No, this is not that. You have to bring a black woman a level of peace for her to let her
And a level
guard
of
down.
comfort like that. I
And
I agree with what you said earlier with the whole comfort thing.
yeah,
And these men don't get that. Like, I don't understand why y'all don't get that, because I mean, you like, I just feel like this is something that has been ingrained in these men to feel like women are just naturally supposed to be
yes,
submissive.
women are not naturally submissive. There are walls. There's baggage sometimes. There's walls,
And there's
baggage,
reasons as
and
to why.
reasons.
And one of the girls during the interview said that a lot of why black women are not as, because I'm going to say it, a lot of black women are not comfortable being submissive because of the way that we were raised, because of what we've seen, because of the experiences that we have been through. So
Right.
it factors into how we act when it comes to men. If, prime example, I'm going to use myself. I'm a woman who was raised by a single mother. I
Right.
don't know what it's like to see a man be a man. All I know, all I've seen is the women in my life be strong, dedicated women doing their thing and making the most out of their lives. That's all that I've seen. That's all that I know. That's who I am. That's what made me who I am. And so I feel like in order for a man to get to the better sides of me, you need to understand that, and you need to operate with some sort of compassion and grace, and realize that me just off the rip coming to you and, like you said, bowing on my knees, oh, you're my Lord and Savior, I love you, oh my God, you're amazing, that's not going to happen off rip. And you should not expect that specifically from black women, because again, there are so many of my sisters who have the same experiences as me, and they understand what I'm talking about. So you're not
Right.
going to get that off rip. So don't come into this relationship expecting to be donned and I'm just supposed to just bow to you. Like, fuck out of here. Like, you're not going to get that. Not off
Ex-
rip. Like, come
Even
on
for
now.
me as another woman, and I was interested in you. You had so many fucking walls up. I had to pull out a jackhammer. On God, you had so many walls up. I ain't stopped though. Shit, I'm dedicated. I whipped that jackhammer out and I said, I was getting through them walls. I don't care.
But
Okay,
I,
that's
I
the
will
thing
say
though. You have
this.
to try though.
Yeah, you have to try. And not only, also that, again, back to what I was saying earlier, you see me for me, meaning when you were getting to know me and getting to understand me as who I am, you never stripped me of who I am. You never stripped me of being a
Right.
human being. You never stripped me of being a black woman. You never stripped me of these things and tried to make me something that I'm not. You looked at me, you saw me for who I was, you understood that I had issues and situations and experiences that affected and projected, or let me not even say projected, that built who you saw then. And you realized that, okay, she has walls up. I'm going to be persistent. I'm going to show her something different.
Right. It's your job if you are interested in that woman. And you're persistent enough. It is your job to get into those walls and show her that not everybody sucks. Show her who you are and make her more comfortable with who she is, and let it be that. And then once you get those walls down, then will come your submissiveness. But that does not give you the opportunity or the right to, once you get that far, to start treating her like she's your slave. We don't do that. I mean, unless you're unless she's into that, that's different.
No.
Um, but I mean, like what I was saying, it does not give you the right to start like, oh, I got her right where I want her, because that'll lead to so many other issues and breaks of trust, breaks of bonds, and then she'll tense up again, and it'll be even worse because she's more tense because of you. It's easier when she's tense because of somebody else or somebody in her past, but when she's tense because of you, it's a completely different story. You want to talk about masculine, she'll start hitting your ass. Oh god.
All right. And so there is one last piece to like what I wanted to touch on. Um, at a certain part of the video, Naya asked the question to BMS, like, okay, because they talked about, interracial relationships and how Black women tend to give Black men the side eye when it comes to dating someone that is not Black. And so she asked BMS the question, like, hey, why do you think that is? And he starts off, because clearly this is a man of statistics. He starts off by saying that 1 in 4 Black women are getting married, which means that the marriage rates are low. He says that Black women feel like because the marriage pool is low, and just dating in general is kind of iffy. Black women have a tendency to get upset with white women and non-Black women, because we feel like they are coming into our communities and taking our men. That's what he said, not me. He said that. And he says that these same women, he called these women, aka Black women, us, angry Black women. He says these angry Black women should take a look at themselves and understand and figure out, how to combat this issue, because it's not white women and non-Black women that are the issue, but it is us, angry Black women, who are the issue.
Itchy.
And that, hold on, and that
Itchy.
we need to take a look at ourselves and figure out why we can either A, attract Black men but can't keep them, or B, just can't get the attention of a Black man. All that is what he said, not verbatim, but mostly what he said. And so I'll let you speak on it. I'll let you speak.
You go ahead.
Obviously this is an issue. This is an issue because we did talk about this just a little bit, about how we feel that it is not just us who should take a look at ourselves. Because I'm gonna go on record and say that yes, Black women, we can be toxic. We can and do have flaws within our thought processes. Please do not get me wrong. I am not sitting here saying that Black women are the angels and that we do no wrong and that we don't hurt people. But I feel like this sentiment is disgusting. Because why? First of all, like, why do we have to be angry Black women?
Okay.
Why is there the assumption that we are angry? Because I promise you, this is coming from me personally. I've seen Black women date. I'm not Black women, excuse me. I've seen Black men date white women. And do I side eye? Yes, but here's the reason why I side eye. I side eye because I automatically assume that these Black men have had poor experiences with Black women. And I guarantee if I went over there and I asked him why he's dating this white woman, he would not tell me why he's dating that white woman, but why he can't stand Black women. That is why I side eye. That is why I just be like, okay. Because I feel like there's going to be some sort of negative backlash towards Black women. Yes. That's why I side eye. Yes. Not because I am jealous, because that was a sentiment that Naya
That,
put into that.
right, that's what she was trying to say. Like
She
that's
tried to
actually
say
what
that we
she
were
said.
jealous.
That's
Yes, she
actually what she
actually
said.
said that.
No, we're not
Yes,
jealous. I promise you, we do
I
not care.
promise. We do not care. We do
We
not
do not
care.
care. Listen, let me put in why I was itching because I've been itching to say this the whole podcast. All right, so here's the thing. Yes, we give them the side eye for dating a woman outside of our race. Period.
Hmm.
Outside of our race. Period. Like, what are you
Hmm.
doing? Right.
Yeah.
So let me start off by saying you can date whoever you want. Anybody.
Yep.
Black,
Yep.
white, green, yellow, purple. Anybody you want.
Hmm.
Nobody cares. Same thing, gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, pan, whatever the hell else there is. It does not matter who you date. What you like in the bedroom is your business. I'm not interested in that. But what I am interested in is if I like this scenario, like you said, it always runs in my head. Like, what if I were to ask this man, why are you with this woman?
Hmm.
Are you going to tell me, oh, I love Stacy. Stacy holds me down. Stacy
Mm-mm.
supports me and loves me and gives me
Probably
all
not.
that I need in a relationship? Or are you going to tell me about the three past black women you dated who you were not able to get comfortable enough to submit to you and that you were not listening to well enough to get her to stop walling out for you? That's my thing. So you know how here's my theory. So when these black men date these white women for the sole purpose of the fact that they hate black women, it's giving fetishization. I hate that word. Only
Mm.
because when you see the whole thing about black women, no, not black women, white women dating black men with the whole thing that they fetishize mixed babies, big, big, body parts,
Yeah.
things of that nature. Some white women are after that. So, I mean, if you were to ask the white woman why she was with Hakeem,
Not
okay,
Hakeem.
would
Hakeem
she
sound
give
well.
you?
No, let me stop.
Listen, if you were to ask that white woman why she was with, we'll call him Tyrone, all right,
Ugh.
Tyrone, why she was with Tyrone, would she give a valid answer? Right? Like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm with Tyrone because I loved Big Dick. That's what I have a coworker who's dating a black man.
Oof.
She's like, oh, I loves me some big dick. I mean, okay, I understand that,
But it doesn't
but
it
not
that
all black
don't
men have gigantic
right. And
penises.
that's a whole, again, that is a topic that is a whole another topic. It's just it's listen, it's
Because they're
toxic.
like glorifying the white woman because it's everything they've asked for. That's all they want. They just want a woman to
They
lay
just
back and take it.
yeah,
Lay back and take it. And the white woman wants a big black man to get on top and give it to him.
that's disgusting. Like
I'm
hearing that
so
is
sorry. I am
absolutely
so
disgusting.
sorry, but that's what it is.
It's that's disgusting.
So I think it's like this whole fetishization working from both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know if you heard this part, because the one dude at the very end of the table that was doing the interview, he, because I think one of the girls posed to him like, oh, would you date a white woman then?
Oh, I saw
And
that.
he just kept, the one in the middle kept saying, I love
Oh, I
black
love
women. I
black
don't know
women.
what that means, but
What does
I'm
that
go
mean?
off. Go off, King. Do what you do. Um but uh for the gentleman at the end, he was like, well, I don't have a preference. I don't care if you black, if
Yeah.
you white, if you Asian, Hispanic. You know, he was like, because at the end of the day, if I have a mixed child, that baby's gonna be black. But contrary to popular belief, no. I mean, it,
It is
I,
mixed.
it's a mixed child, which means, and I might get some backlash for this because I'm not mixed. I'm African American. Period. Point blank. That is all I am. But I feel like I have no issue with people. Again, I don't have an issue with interracial marriage. or dating outside of your race. I don't have a problem with people having children with other races, but here's the thing, there needs to be some education going into these things. And a lot of people are highly uneducated. I will use Kim Kardashian as an example because my best friend told me about a situation where apparently North she gave her braids or whatever the case may be. She
Mm-hmm.
gave her braids. Or was it Kim? I don't think it was Kim. It might have been the other one, the unfavored one, the non-popular one. Chloe? Was it
I don't
Chloe?
know.
That one. Um where Chloe put her daughter in braids and wore braids with her daughter to, I guess, act
Oh
as
God, itching.
moral support. But
Mo-
here's my
Moral
issue with
support
that.
for what? Her kid is black.
Half black, half black.
Still.
And here's the thing. That's why I'm saying there needs to be some education because you can support your mixed child all day long. I am all for it, but you also need to be aware because a lot of people were saying that she was appropriating. And to be
Right.
fair, coming from a Kardashian,
No, she was.
she
She
was.
was.
She was.
Not people are saying she was, because just because your kid is half black does not make you half black. You are not black. You are a white woman cultural appropriating because your child is half black. That's not how it works.
Right.
Just because your man is black, your kid is half black, that does not make you black. It's a
Right.
spectrum from
You
black
can,
to white. You're the white part.
right. And
Stay over
again,
there.
right. And again, I feel like you can't take a mixed child and just expose them to one part of themselves. Because I
Yes.
understood what the boy was saying in the interview. He was saying that my child's still going to be, yes, your child still is black and has a percentage of black in
But it's
them.
not only black.
Exactly. And so you need to be educating them about both sides. I am, again, if I ever, if I were to ever have a mixed child, I would go out of my way to ensure that my child knows both sides. And baby, you resonate with whomever, wherever you feel most comfortable. And that's a lot of the problem when it comes to mixed children. And they will tell you, I've heard a lot of mixed
Yeah,
kids
like
say,
they don't know
it's
where they
hard.
stand.
They don't. And they have a lot of identity issues because of this. So as a parent, I feel like don't just have these children. Have these children, educate them and support them through, because they're gonna go through struggles.
Right.
They're gonna go through that. I don't know where I fit in. And you need to be there as a parent to kind of hold their hand and walk them through it. Will you be able, as a black person, you will be more able to identify with some of the issues that they have, not 100%, but at least enough. And with white people, I guess y'all could help. I don't really know what to say about that one, but I guess you could be supportive. You could still be supportive, even though you may not have that same backlash because you are white and you do have privilege. But that's that's pretty much, my whole thing about that and what he said in terms of that. And I think looking at my list, I think I pretty much talked about all the points that I really did want to talk about. So P, if you have anything else you want to add, go ahead.
Um, I think I essentially touched on everything
Yeah.
other than this one comment, but I did explain my reasoning already in like response to that comment without saying the comment. This one comment that I saw, it was very close to the top. I think it's like the second or third comment.
Oh God, what did it say?
It
I want to know.
said it said successful black men want women who provide peace and ease their
Oh,
lives.
okay.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what her race is, nor should it matter. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's a bunch of fucking bologna sandwich because hello, we had this whole conversation because men were looking for peace and they weren't finding peace in black women, and they weren't bringing the peace to black women either. So
Right, yeah. The comment, y'all. If y'all decide to look at that video, please, I suggest you watch the video first. Watch the video first and then look at those comments. And it's like some of those comments are
Almost just as bad
disgusting.
as the video.
Some of
Worse
these
than the video.
it, as a matter of fact, let me see because I'm scrolling through the comments right now. Okay. So this one person said, it says the fact that so many of our women see being soft and feminine as a negative thing is all the reason you need. I'm going to assume because he didn't finish his thought, but I'm going to assume that means that is all the reason you need not to want to date Black women. I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that part because that's I'm getting very much so I hate Black women. Um,
Uh,
and again, I guess
that's not what this is.
it's just, you know what's crazy to me? And I've talked about this before. I am so tired of people trying to categorize people into these genres and these categories. Why, just because I am a woman, why do I have to be soft and
Why?
feminine? Why do
Just
I have to be soft and feminine? And again, vice versa. Just because you are a man, why do you have to be the aggressor or not
hard
even
and masculine.
how hard and masculine? Why do you have to be those things? Who told you that this is what being a man is? Who told us this is what being a woman is? Who? Where are we getting this from? Because
Let me tell you where they're getting this from. Okay, because I'm your unbiased commentator. So here's the thing. As a masculine woman with actual masculinity, not just me being like
running
yelling
around
or
here talking about some you
whatever.
an alpha male and shit. Like,
Yes. As a woman with actual masculinity, and you can tell it's real because people feel it
people
around
feel it.
me.
Mm-hmm.
They feel it. I radiate big top energy,
Not
and
big top
I've gotten
energy.
that before. Women have literally told me face to face, you radiate very dominant energy. But that doesn't have me out here talking to people like they're crazy, like they're less
Okay.
than a person.
Right.
It's different. I can
Right.
give you the energy without being an asshole.
Period. Because you know what time it is. And I feel like a lot of these alpha men, because that's the title that we're gonna give them, a lot of these alpha men, y'all are not really who y'all say y'all are.
Yeah,
And
they're
y'all
not
are
alpha. They're
trying to,
trying to
you're
be alpha.
trying, you have this assumption that this is what a man is supposed to be. So you're projecting that energy out into the world. And let me tell you something, it's really not working out for you. It's not working out for you. But I mean, actually, let me not even say it's not working out for you because there are a lot of women there are a lot of women who are trying to mold themselves into this soft and feminine woman. There are a lot. If y'all look on YouTube, this is a thing. This is another thing. Along with the alpha male, there's the soft feminine woman.
Over
Those
soft women.
and again, I am not saying there's anything. If this is who you are as a person and this has always been you, then that's
And
just
that's
what it
cool.
is.
But if you have to
But I
try
am
to be something you're not, then you're
that
just
it's
not
not for
that.
you, hun. And I'm a strong believer in energy is on a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Energy is a spectrum. Masculine and feminine energy in people comes on a spectrum. You have men who radiate a little bit more feminine energy. That does
Yeah.
not
That
mean
does
that
not make
they're
them gay.
gay. It
Yes.
doesn't mean that they're any less of a man. It does not mean any of that. It just means that they have a little bit more feminine energy, and that is a okay. Same thing with women. Women there are some women who just carry more masculine energy. And um, that's okay. It's okay. And
Yeah,
I'm just
like
tired of these weird people trying to box us all in these categories. Oh, if you're a man, you're supposed to be hard and masculine.
that's what
If
she
you're a
said.
woman, you're supposed to be soft and feminine. You're not supposed to talk this way. You're supposed to act this way. Like, I don't have to do anything that I don't feel comfortable doing. Period, point blank. And
You just do what
who
your
gonna pop me?
personality is. You just do what your personality is. But before
Thank
we get off
you.
topic and before I lose my thought, let me go back. Let's backtrack to why I believe that people have this general assumption of that men are supposed to be masculine and women are supposed to be feminine. First of all, when a woman gets mad, the first thing they pull up, be a man. Be a man. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. You get that from your parents. And I can be the first one to say something because growing up as a lesbian and dressing a lot more masculine than I'm quote unquote supposed to. My mom was the first one to say, why are you dressing like that? Why'd you cut your hair like that? Just because you're a lesbian doesn't mean you need to look like a man. Why are you walking like that? Why are you talking like that? Why are you sitting like that? Why are you acting like a man? Stop acting like a man. Why are you playing football? Go be a cheerleader. Stuff like that. Do stuff
Yeah.
girls do. And the same thing for men. Like, oh, why are you playing with Barbies? That's for girls. Why are you playing with this? This for girls. Why are you listening to this music? That's for girls. It's for
Yeah.
boys, it's for girls, it's for boys, it's for girls. That shit sticks with you.
And it does. And I think that's where we're having this disconnect. That's very true. I feel like a lot
It all goes way back when you really think about it.
of course,
Most of
I
the
mean it goes
men,
back.
most of the men who have strong hatred towards black women is because they are not too fond of their mothers.
Yeah, that, but I also feel like it goes back to this whole I feel like the whole masculine, feminine, what it looks like, what it should be, goes back to these gender norms. And as you can tell, in the year of 2022,
They're being broken now.
they're
There's no
being broken. And
normal.
I feel like people are trying their best to reel us all back into
Oh
what
yeah,
a man is supposed to be, what a woman's supposed to be.
that's
And
what
it's just
that
not
alpha
that.
shit. That
It's
alpha
just
shit
not
didn't
that.
come out until that alpha shit didn't really come out to become a popular thing until the gender norms have been broken.
Also, listen, insecurity in men. I feel like that's another thing that is provoking
Insecurity in
these
everybody. Insecurity in
insecurity in
everybody.
everybody, but specifically when we're talking about alpha males, we're talking about
Alpha men are
insecurity
the most
in men.
insecure men in the world
They are, and they're trying to mask that insecurity with
by
these
being
rules and
domineering.
regulation and sick with these rules and regulations towards women. Like, in order to put themselves up, you got to knock somebody down, right? That, I mean, that's their thoughts process.
That's the process, but I mean that's not how it works. I mean at the end of the
It's
day,
not, but
you're not gonna succeed if you think you have to stomp people down just so you get a leg up. To be honest, if you stomp people down so you get a leg up, you're still standing in the same height in the same place. You just knock somebody down.
exactly.
You can't push somebody down and expect to be on top. At one point, they're going to get back up and you're going to be the same height again.
Right. That's true. Well, I feel like I said, I pretty much got all of my talking points out and what I
Yeah, I
wanted to
got all
touch
mine
on.
out.
So thank you guys for tuning in. This one is a little bit longer than our first
Very,
episode.
very long.
Yeah, very long. So we do appreciate you guys for, tuning in, sticking in with us. If you're still here towards the end, we greatly appreciate it.
If you're still
Um
here. LOL.
yeah, if you're still here, if they stayed and tuned in, tapped in with us. We appreciate it. Seriously,
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
this was a really good topic to bring up. I mean, of course everybody else is talking about it, but I mean, I feel like we had our own unique points that we brought up
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
in reaction to that video because I feel like there was a lot wrong with that
It
video.
was a
There was a
lot
lot
wrong.
of
The video.
bias. And I'm not just saying that because y'all already know I'm your unbiased commentator. So, I mean,
I will be unbiased on certain things. I will be biased on some. That is my stance. If y'all like it, like you like it. If you hate it,
I will
you
try
hate
my
it.
best to keep things open and make sure we get all hit all perspectives rather than touching on one, because this
Right.
ain't that type of podcast.
I also will say this. I am not unopen to other perspectives and opinions. Again, I'm all for people coming and telling us different perspectives that I may not have even thought about. So I will not, even though I am biased on this topic, I am very much so open to hearing other people's perspectives
Right.
and why you feel that way. So again, if you have rivaling opinions
Leave
or,
them in the comments. We want to
leave them
see
in the
it.
comments.
And
We
we'll
want to
make a
see it.
whole nother video addressing them.
Yeah, so again, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Oh my god.
Bye.
Bye. I'm sick.
Louisa.